think you feel like you're not being productive, or you feel kind of empty or burnt out because you're uninspired. I think that's like the root of it. If you were to keep digging, why am I so dry? Why am I so bored? Why am I so angry all the time? It's because you hit your cap a long time ago of like BS that you're able to put up with. Like that happened a while ago. And so you've been kind of operating in this place that I think, and I mean like a long time ago. I feel like this is a collective of like a long time ago. Like your creativity has been like kaput for a minute. And the way that like creativity translates, there's a broad spectrum of how we can be creative. So don't be closed-minded and think that this is like only for artists of some kind. This is for literally anyone who has feminine energy, which is everyone. Okay. The thing that you're really sick of here that I can see you either like there's multiple places, you know, where this collective might be. You know, you could have identified it already, or you could be in the process of identifying it. You could be right there and you're like, I feel like I can see. It's this destructive cycle that happens when you pretend like everything is okay. And it's not just you, it's the people around you as well. There is an external energy that you might be mirroring. Ooh, okay, there is an external energy, someone in your life, someone pretty close to you, I would say here, that has this habit of like being destructive, and it's a mask, right? Like it's a mask for like their emptiness or their like woundedness, or like insert whatever it is for your situation, that you're seeing the mask come off and like come off again and come off again, but every time it goes back on, the destruction persists. And I think you've been mirroring that to some degree. So here I can see you in this place that says like, yeah, no, we're done. Like I'm moving my resources elsewhere. And then we have the Page of Swords and the Sun here. It's kind of like the Page of Swords is, in this context, giving a very creative energy about her, but it's also saying like, speak your mind, okay? Let's get a little bit more about you. The Emperor, wow, yeah, enough. The Emperor, you're ready to go, you're ready to sign off on something, you're ready to like build something here. I think that you've been in the process of building something for a long time, and you're kind of ready to like take it to a new level. Okay, so I have Temperance, the Page of Pentacles, the Sun, the Knight of Wands, and then the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. I keep hearing persistence, but it's frustrating because you feel kind of green, but you've slowed yourself down enough in life to where you can see the importance of temperance, of like taking your time and moving slow and moving at a pace that works for you instead of just taking a leap, right? I think that you've taken plenty of leaps. I'm thinking of like that saying, like, when you jump the net appears, which is true. And I think you learned that, right? You might have learned that in several instances, particularly recently. What is your guidance here to stop this cycle? What is collective's guidance to bring out more of their creativity in a way that is productive, that maybe sends them wealth, money, security? Okay, so that's the Knight of Pentacles to the Page of Pentacles that just came out about you. The Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Hanged Man. So taking the leap, when you jump the net appears. So jump, but make it like a swan dive. Make it like a swan dive. There's something that you need to protect here. There's something that you need to protect here with the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Those are the cards. Ten of Wands. It might very well just be how tired you are. You don't, it's kind of like saving face. Ten of Wands, the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups. You love your work, right? Do not tell people that you're overwhelmed. there's something about this message that is kind of calling you out for like what image you're giving across. And they're saying that like whatever it is that you've built, however you're showing up in spaces, like the way that you're showing up anywhere you go matters. And like as I'm saying this, I'm noticing the energy before I said this felt really like noisy, and now it feels quiet. And so there is something really sobering about what I'm delivering here, or at least maybe it's meant to be sobering. This idea that like you kind of have to care a little bit more about how you're showing up in spaces. That's part of your guidance of how to bring wealth your way. Like save face with a little bit more effort than you have been. Button up a little bit more, you know? And then what comes from that? Because the thing is like this Queen of, and then what comes from that? We have the 10 of Cups. The Queen of Cups is like, well, this is of your creation. It's an extension of you. So how are you showing up in those spaces? It really matters, right? What else comes from this? These 6 of Swords. What else comes from this? From just buttoning up, from caring a little bit more. The Hierophant, maybe something a little bit more established. The Empress reversed and the 8 of Cups with the 7 of Wands. Interesting, hang on. I'm getting clarification on the Empress reverse. I get the Knight of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Queen of Wands right there. The thing about this is that you will still probably be feeling a little bit of that struggle bus, right? But the offering, the ambrosia, the care, it comes in greater abundance when you show up with greater, like, I guess, an image of respect for yourself. And because the thing is that it wouldn't be an image, it's the truth, right? It is an expression of self-respect to bring yourself to a point of care in presentation, right? If you're putting a lot of care into the way something is presented, it's because you love it very deeply, right? So it's kind of saying here, like, don't be, King of Swords and the Moon, don't be afraid to, with King of Cups at the bottom of the deck, don't be afraid to put on a bit of a show. You know, that's 4 of Wands. That's kind of what it is, babe. You know, like if we think about the act as if, you know, a lot of, you know what I've been reflecting on for a while now is how, like, I grew up with a love for theater, and like that got beat out of me real quick as I entered my late teens and got into the real world. But like, I loved theater when I was a kid, and all of the people who were able to keep that magic in their lives are some of the most magical people I've ever met. And people who are pointedly magical, meaning like people who are in the same industry as me, who are living very inspired lives, people who are like active, you know, artists in their lives, like they're all quite theatrical. So there's something about this that's like, hey, like, what show are you putting on? What play are you partaking in? What role are you playing, right? Like, I'm hearing something about like the Queen's Gambit, like that kind of drama. If you've ever seen that show, there's a lot of drama and theatrics involved in her story, and like even just how she's depicted throughout her life in that show, like, and it's all for the love of a game. It's just a game, you know, but she loves it so deeply. And she, I don't know, there's something very like psychological, you know, if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about, but I think that's kind of the point. Page of Cups and Page of Swords again with the Ace of Wands in the middle here. Youthful energy is your key here. Youthful energy is your key. So, you know, that is to say, looking around at the destructive energies in your life and saying like, oh, this is so hurtful. Like, what? How far does that actually get you to dwell on the hurts and the pains and the, you know, poor decisions of others? It's all a game, in some respect. Like, don't take that too far, obviously, but like, be lighthearted and people will follow suit. Just be lighthearted. More whimsy. More whimsy. That's what I'm going to title this reading. More whimsy. Good job.